Here we are in one accord. Today I want to talk a little bit about making a mini documentary a reality and some of the steps I took to make it happen without a big production, without a lot of hoopla. I want to talk about misdirection and I want to talk about the making of. So let's get started on how I made a mini family documentary. My dad's new house became the focus of this video, but not really. I wanted to tell the story of my dad and my stepmom persevering through a difficult year plus to achieve a goal that they had set before them and worked towards for many years. That goal was to have a house on a lake that they could go fishing on and this kind of be their retirement home. My dad, a couple years before a planned retirement, had some health issues that really threw a kink in their plan. And I'm really proud of my dad and my stepmom and how they handled the situation. I approached my dad saying that I wanted to do just a quick little video. Would you mind being on camera? And so I kind of made the house the focus, or at least the icebreaker, but really the story was about the people, right? So I had picked a nice location in the yard where it was nice and quiet, which is a critical part of doing these interviews. You want to make sure that you have very clear audio, because if you don't have good audio, you're going to lose your viewers really quickly, probably even more so than having a poor image quality. I knew that I wanted him to talk about his early plans for retirement, the problems that came about, one being this health issue, kind of like your basic story arc, right? You have your characters, you kind of learn a little bit about them, there's a problem that they have to overcome, and then you want that resolution. So one thing to note when doing an interview, have the person rephrase the question that you ask them in their answer. I like looking directly at the person during the interview as opposed to just being behind the camera. I definitely suggest having eye contact with the person and having kind of the camera be a fly on the wall. I know I needed cutaway shots to help tell this story of my dad. And one of the things that helps is awesome lighting. If you have awesome lighting, you're probably going to have an awesome picture. During the editing process of this story piece, I kept on asking myself, what could I cut? Does this need to be in there? Is it critical for the story? And do I have a visual to go along with it? And those questions helped me throughout the editing process. I had a couple different scenes that I had filmed. One was during a campfire. One was my dad creating some fishing lures in the basement. To get from one scene to the other, I would often cut back to my dad's talking head using scratch audio. So what I mean by scratch audio is the audio that I recorded when I was getting the cutaway shots, the B-roll. So audio at the campfire. Scratch audio doesn't have to be perfect, but adding some of that in adds depth to the video. Lastly, let's talk about placement of your favorite clips. In the editing process, go ahead and pick out some of your favorite shots and find a way to build up to them. Find that perfect moment where that shot's gonna make the most impact in the story. This video was definitely a success in my opinion, and it wasn't a distraction producing it while I was on this trip. We helped them celebrate, in a way, this achievement, this goal that they had worked for decades. And at the same time, I captured a little bit of my dad's personality that I can preserve forever now, and I'm sure I'll be happy to have that in the future. And I'm happy to talk more about mini documentaries. I'm definitely not the expert, but I'm definitely...
Looks like somebody's got a case of the definitelys.
...enthusiastic about the topic and wanting to learn more myself. So let me know what questions you might have, and thanks for watching.